Hey you guys, this has been very funny. I've been having lots of technical issues over the past few days with videos. So I have audio of the last video I made, but I'm going to go ahead and make a new video too. So since yesterday, which I've actually been playing with this for a little while, the don't require or need anyone to change, including yourself. What I'm discovering is that I am very blank-headed. There is not much going on in my head. It turns out that a lot of my life was actually being guided by a very clear compass of all the things I needed to do because I wasn't doing them right, or I was wrong, or I should change. And once I took that out of my vocabulary, both my energetic and my verbal vocabulary, to whatever degree it's already been changed, I'm discovering that it's really important to create your life. I know it sounds obvious, but I don't have a wrongness compass to go by right now, and that's amazing and really different. So I was talking with another friend of mine today, and we were talking about how much we ask for change and how much we desire change, and then when it comes, all of a sudden, reaching back for comfort, going, this is really uncomfortable. Maybe I should have something a little more comfortable. And this has been an exercise in really sitting with the nakedness of not having an answer. So what's required is a whole bunch of questions. Also, Blossom made a video on her day 2, I believe, all about shopping for a reality. So that's one that you can play with. And shopping for a reality basically looks like, look around you, or go to places you wouldn't normally go, or watch movies that you wouldn't normally watch, and begin to look at what realities actually exist, or what possibilities you find interesting or delightful or intriguing or energizing, and start asking what it would take to create those in your life. So the other piece of this is, when you're used to functioning from your normal choices. For a long time, my choice was, should I stay or should I go, for instance. It's been a while since that's the one that I've used as my default, but for a long, long time, that was my choice in almost everything. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? Now, the interesting thing is, when you think that those are your only two options, will you actually be aware of any other options that show up? I wasn't. So what you want to do, if, for instance, you think that you're too quiet, right? All the things that you judge about you. If you think you're too quiet, then you would probably not ever actually head in that direction to create your life. Like, I'm too quiet. Well, I better be more boisterous, or I better work on speaking up, or I better work on being heard. You may assume that you're not being heard, or you're not being seen, or you're not being listened to, right? So in that case, you probably wouldn't go, oh, wow, you know what I'd really like to do? I'd really like to go on a 30-day silent retreat. So you automatically assume that you shouldn't go in that direction. So as stuff starts to open up, you have to really begin. We don't have to do anything, but one of the things that you might want to consider is actually opening up to all the possibilities, including the ones that you never would have considered before, because they may actually reveal to you capacities that you haven't been able or willing to see in the past, because they seemed so clearly to be the problem, instead of a capacity, or instead of something that would bring you more awareness. Now, I'm not saying run towards everything you've ever considered not good about you or wrong about you, though you could, and see what happens. I am saying, though, consider the possibility that if it's not a wrongness, would you still always run in the other direction, or would you actually open the door to other choices as well? So you can begin asking this simple question. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just begin asking this simple question. What choices do I have here that I have never considered? And just see what begins to show up. And as you're making choices, instead of trying to get your choices right or your decisions right, what you can begin to do is list what you think your options are, and then begin to ask, what else have I not considered? It's basically the same question that I just asked, but now you're actually sort of going, okay, well, I know that I have these options. These are the ones I've been willing to look at before. Now what else? Now what else? Now what else? You can include things that are totally ridiculous on there. You're not trying to get rid of any options at the moment. Right now, we're opening doors that haven't been opened because you've assumed that you have to run in a very particular direction, which is basically away from you as fast as possible. So I wonder what's possible now that none of us have ever considered, and what future we can begin to create. So I thank you guys so much for playing with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow.